So we're not going to have to wait 30 hours in line to see Jason Momoa's left toe from 300 feet away at San Diego Comic-Con, but what are they doing? A digital San Diego Comic-Con? How's this going to work? I haven't even read up on it because I'm like, this is just stupid. Like,
I think that's all they've announced. It's just like,
Yeah, there really isn't
SDCC.
anything else.
Oh. Well, that's...
Yeah.
I mean,
See, I like the idea. The problem is, I think it was WonderCon recently did this, but it wasn't like what people wanted. It was more like exhibitor stuff.
Right.
It's like, no, people want the stuff they want. They want like the panels. They want like a Feige struggling on his stream.
that's the
Right.
problem, because they have to like plan all this out and get everything lined up. And so far from what we've seen, a lot of these companies either don't have the time to do it or don't think it through, and it fails horribly.
And
And they'll
also,
say, "We'll do better next time."
and also, you mentioned that the big problem is they're doing this because now they have to, and they never had a thing in place to try to do it the right way before to offer this as a solution. Like, if you look back at E3, right? Back in the mid 2000s, you tune into G4 TV and you watched E3, and that was that. But then other websites like Game Trailers came in. They're like, what if we set up a hub there and then we stream and we bring stuff in and you don't have to watch G4? And like, it evolved to the point today where the conferences are live and everything is just instant and you can interact on a stream and all that. These comic places, they wanted you to pay this big money to get there, and they relied on Marvel Studios renting out Hall H and paying $5 million for a small amount of floor space. What incentive now does Marvel Studios have to do anything like that, where they could literally be like, hey, Disney Plus, that week, Kevin Feige will release a little 30-minute, here's what's coming to Marvel Studios, and it'll drive traffic to them. Like,
Right,
I
here's
just
the
don't
thing.
get it.
They don't like Disney Plus doesn't have as big a reach as like a YouTube.
No, of course not.
So if you're going to stream it, they're obviously going to stream on YouTube. So if you have it on there, you're going to get more people looking at it. That's the incentive. And especially with 2 Marvel shows coming out fairly soon,
Yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't do it.
I mean, because technically they do have a Model 2 kind of take after for us. Whether you like it or not, Blizzard does the Blizzard Con online, and they offer goodies if you watch it streamed, like either be like costumes or demos early, stuff like that. But for the most part, no one's taken that and evolved it to them being the forefront of doing things streamed.
Yeah. I mean, would they be stupid enough to charge people to watch something?
No.
Not the first one, because no.
Yeah.
I mean, like I think if they were going to charge it, they would have had something. Well, you would have heard about it by now.
Right. I would hope
Sure.
so.
That would be my hope. That
Yeah,
you would have heard about it by now.
I think because even like the first BlizzCon, they didn't charge anything. It was the consecutive ones is when they started charging it.
Right, once they got their footing. I remember that because I have a friend who goes to every single BlizzCon. Like, that's his thing. And yeah, it interests me because it's obviously it's a shift, but they're doing it out of necessity, not because they were planning it. And that's what kind of worries me. It's like, it's a first one. I think expectations will be super high. Like, people are going to, I've already seen people like on my, timeline share it being like, oh my God, I can't wait to see, the first footage of Pattinson's Batman revealed. I'm like, no. You are.
But here's the thing. No, it's the chance of it. I think it's a 50-50 chance of that happening. Because Comic-Con has a certain level of expectation. They know this. They were going to show it here anyway.
Yeah.
I know studios go to Comic-Con and they're like, well, we're doing this for Comic-Con, we don't want other people to see it. But it's such an unprecedented situation where I think you're going to get a bit of a backlash if you didn't do it. Whereas if you're not going to do it, what's the point? Everyone knows what Comic-Con is for.
Right.
Especially now, it's for
especially San Diego and New York. You don't go there for comics. You go there because it's Hollywood the exhibit. Like that's it's
exactly. So I think I'm firmly on the side of if they don't do it, they screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
No, you have to. At this point, you have to do it. There's a certain level of expectation there. If you don't do it, it's not Comic-Con at home.
Yeah, that's true. And like, you can't just be like, it's gonna be Comic-Con, and you set up a camera like positioned at a virtual art rally or something. Like, it can't be something lame, right? Like, because you don't have the floor space, you're not gonna have all that. Maybe you have somebody interview Kevin Feige on, on a live stream, and he kind of talks about the last 12 years of the MCU or how he came up with it. And that's cool and all, but you'd want somewhere in there at the end of that interview for Kevin Feige to be like, oh, and speaking of that, you know how we're going to release our first wave of Marvel, Cinematic Universe Disney Plus shows? Check out this 2-minute sizzle reel. Cool. Like, okay, this was worth it. If it's just Kevin Feige sits there and then nothing comes with it, it's like, that's still great because we're going to get a bunch of info, but we know if it was live, we would have gotten that, like the reveal there. And obviously San Diego, the way they do it is you pay to be there to see it, but they don't release it publicly usually. So it's like they have to temper those expectations, it's just that's where I'm coming at with it, because having gone to like 2 years ago, I think I went to like 14 comic conventions in 1 year. Like, yeah, it was ridiculous. And like I got to, moderate a couple panels, meet some celebrities, like the Supergirl cast and stuff, and they're great. But you can only do so much without having to show stuff, right? So it's like, it's interesting. I don't know how to approach it. Like, and obviously that's up to them, but I think people need to temper expectations, because I don't think they even know what they're doing, because obviously it's just been sprung on them. Come up with a solution now. Like that's daunting.
But it's like, why? You haven't really necessarily got to change like your schedule that much for the streaming. So just do a bunch of pre-recorded videos. I don't give the flying toss if it's live or not. Like, just line a bunch of videos. Go, right, this time we're going to have this panel. Here you go. Here is like a Zoom recording or Skype recording of this panel. There you go. There's that for 20 minutes.
Because they can say these panels will be pre-recorded, but we'll be taking your questions. So send them in.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just do that. And even for the whole H one, just have Feige sitting there, trying to figure out, like, oh, I've muted myself. What do I do?
Have Feige pull a Mark Cerny with fake crowd in front of him and him just talking about Marvel Studios for an hour.
I mean, they can use the Sony one because they are buddy with Sony.
I mean, they can. He could also have like a fake Thanos throne in the background, or him sitting in the one.
Yeah.
Like with what do you mean a fake one? That's what he sits on. That's his office chair. That's legitimately his. He just sits there.
And the good thing is he can just send us our paycheck for praising him right there on the spot. One click of a button. So
exactly. You can do it by a super chat. Why not?
Oh man! Hopefully, I don't know. I think they should disable the super chat.
They should absolutely not have chat. Like, chat should be dead. No, don't take any live questions. No, that's just
boy.
A nightmare. You wouldn't even be able to see him because there'd be too many people watching. So.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm excited by this because this could be a big shift for what Comic-Cons are. But at the same time, I'm just a little... I don't know how they're going to do it their first time. Because, again, they haven't had, years to plan it. Like, for all the bad that we get for, the Game Awards, every year it's gone exponentially better and less cringy and more about, look, Jeff Keighley actually has some... interesting stuff to show off, where when it was on Spike TV, it was like Mikhail just making jokes about virginity and stuff. It's like, oh my God, please stop. Like, so it's gotten better in that term, and I don't want them to be like, look, San Diego Comic-Con is coming at you. We got our big host for the thing. Here's this guy who has no idea what he's talking about. It's like, oh God, you're already off on a bad foot. Like, that's what I'm afraid of, that they're trying to get the mainstream by getting somebody that has no idea what they're talking about to host the thing. It's like, oh, this is bad. Like, that's just kind of how I see it, because that's what the mentality is of, okay, put it online, and we need more eyes on it.
Get someone popular, they'll love it.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work that way.
I mean, they do that in the panels anyway, let's be honest.
True, but at least those people tend to at least know something about it, like,
or at least look it up so they can ask like real questions instead of just jokes all the time, and then you have the panel just looking at them.
Like, what are you talking about? And like, it does go like that, but overall, I think we're excited to see what this goes to. I think that's kind of the consensus here. Yeah, I want to say.
I'd say don't expect to see anything. I'd say personally, there's a high chance that you more than likely will, but I'm not expecting it.
Yeah.
Just as a pure prediction, it depends how far they've got. Mainly Marvel. Like if Falcon and Winter Soldier's done and they decide to scrap the reshoots and the rest of the filming, you could probably get a trailer.
Oh God, yeah.
A week before, Rob Liefeld's going to announce that they're going to be doing Deadpool 3. You can thank him for it.
No, I mean, Rob Liefeld can, just take a seat and shut up. Who gives a crap about Rob Liefeld? No.
Rob Liefeld. And that's it. So there you go.
And we can't even count that.